What is going on, guys? JD from New York here, and this is your official Monday Night Raw review for tonight's show, November 9th, 2015. Monday Night Raw was actually taped earlier this afternoon from Manchester, England, and this is one of the most anticipated Monday Night Raws in quite some time, being that Seth Rollins and the news of Seth Rollins going down with injury happened last week in Dublin, Ireland. If you guys have been living in a cave for the last 7 days, Seth Rollins was vacated. He was stripped of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and now that title is up for grabs. He tore his ACL, he tore his MCL, and he tore his meniscus, and he's going to be out for a very, very long time. 6 to 9 months is the prognosis on Seth Rollins' return, but he's guaranteeing that he's going to be back bigger, better than ever, man. So I can't wait for him to get back. But where does that leave the WWE Championship, and where does that leave WWE, especially with a lot of its top guys out with injury or out with time off? John Cena, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, The Undertaker, just a few guys at the top of the card that WWE has been relying on the past couple of months, and they're not there. They're not there, man. And now, with Seth Rollins being out, Seth Rollins being the engine that has been running the WWE for the last 2 years, he's come up and he's been one of the best performers in the ring for WWE. He's the was the WWE champion. He was crowned the champion at WrestleMania, and ever since he won the title at WrestleMania, he's been busting his ass. So where does that leave WWE? A lot of news has come out about what WWE might do. Roman Reigns has been in the news a lot. They're just going to give the title to Roman Reigns. Dean Ambrose, a lot of news about a swerve going on at that Survivor Series. Reigns turning heel, Ambrose turning heel, someone turning heel. Nobody knew what WWE was going to do when Seth Rollins went down with injury. Everybody was immediately thinking, oh my God, this is going to be the most obvious thing in the world. And it pretty much could still end up being that. But WWE is giving us a 16-man tournament. And I'll give you my opinion on what I think about this in a second. Before I do that, I want to go over the brackets. I want to go over who's going to actually be in this tournament, which started tonight on Monday Night Raw. Roman Reigns versus The Big Show. Cesaro versus Sheamus. Del Rio versus Stardust. Kalisto versus Ryback. Titus O'Neil versus Kevin Owens. Neville versus Barrett. Ziggler versus The Miz. And Ambrose versus Breeze. Okay. Those are the 16 men. My initial thought when I first heard this is this really the WWE's best? Is this the best the WWE has to offer? I mean, you look at these brackets. Roman Reigns versus The Big Show. Like, we haven't seen that fucking 8,000 times already in 2015. Again, painfully obvious about who is going to win that. Cesaro versus Sheamus was one of the few matches in this tournament, on Monday Night Raw, that was actually a toss-up. Because you really didn't know where WWE was going to go with this. Alright? And I'll go over the matches as we get on into the review. Del Rio versus Stardust. Again, this is painfully obvious. There's no reason for anyone to believe that Stardust is going to beat Alberto Del Rio, especially when he just came back and beat John Cena, when he just won the United States Championship, when he's being built up stronger than he's ever been. What makes you believe, or what does WWE think about this? What makes them believe that we're going to think that Stardust can beat Del Rio? I just don't understand it. Same thing with the next match, Kalisto versus Ryback. I don't see Kalisto ever getting over Ryback. It may be a decent match. It may get Kalisto over as a possible single star down the line. We can see what he does, in a singles role, away from Sin Cara and away from the Lucha Dragons. But going against Ryback, who's been built up on WWE TV and has been given, multiple Intercontinental Championship matches and has had matches against Kevin Owens on pay-per-view. What makes WWE think that we're going to believe that Kalisto can win this match? It doesn't make any sense to me. So if you look up and down this left side of the bracket, Roman Reigns versus Big Show, Cesaro versus Sheamus, which is the only toss-up here, Del Rio, Stardust, and Kalisto Ryback, it's painfully obvious who's going to go on to the final 8, okay? Now, the other side of the tournament has Titus O'Neil versus Kevin Owens. Again, why? We haven't seen the primetime players at all on TV. Why he's in the tournament, number one, is beyond me. Number two, why anyone would believe Titus O'Neil is now vying for the WWE Championship is just a ludicrous idea. It really is. You mean to tell me there's nobody else on the roster that WWE could have substituted to go against Kevin Owens instead of Titus O'Neil? I just don't understand that. I really don't understand that. So as of right now, what I told you, this tournament is one of the most predictable tournaments in WWE history. I just don't get it. Moving on, we got Neville and Barrett. Now, again, this is a possible toss-up. I really don't know who could win this match, and this match is supposedly taking place on SmackDown. WWE, again, we got 2 matches here that are toss-ups. Neville could easily win this in advance. Barrett could easily win this in advance, but being, the outcome of the Owens-Titus O'Neil match that we've seen tonight on Monday Night Raw, I'm going to go with Neville on advancing to the next round. Ziggler versus The Miz, again, painfully obvious. The Miz comes out and is acting all serious. Nobody's going to take him serious because he's been nothing but a talk show host and a joke for the last 6 months. Possibly longer than that. Nobody's going to believe, even though he is a former WWE champion, nobody's going to believe that The Miz is going to beat Dolph Ziggler. And then finally, Ambrose versus Breeze. This is something that really made me scratch my head. Because, number one, this is Tyler Breeze's Monday Night Raw in-ring debut. Okay? Number two, again, this is a great match to have, but it could swing either way. But the way this tournament is set up, somebody with half a brain could realize that this tournament is strictly being built around Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. So why would you have Tyler Breeze go against Dean Ambrose in a match that nobody would see Tyler Breeze winning? Nobody would predict Tyler Breeze winning. So, in the end, WWE is booking Tyler Breeze to suffer his first loss in a tournament, and that's it. I don't get that. Tyler Breeze is being built up as someone that we should take seriously, but even though and I'm going to jump ahead here, he had a great match with Dean Ambrose. It was probably my favorite match of the night, aside from Cesaro and Sheamus. But you're going to put Breeze in a match with Ambrose where nobody expects him to win. Why was this match put together? The WWE could have really reshuffled this and switched opponents. You could have gave us, you could have gave us Breeze and Neville. You could have put Barrett with Ambrose. I don't know, man. You could have switched it up. You didn't necessarily need to put Tyler Breeze in a match that he was definitely going to lose, especially being his first match on Monday Night Raw. I just don't understand that logic. I really don't. And then he ended up losing. I mean, he looked good in defeat, but again, he suffered his first loss. And being that it's his in-ring debut on Monday Night Raw, he should definitely come out on top 10 times out of 10. I don't give a shit who you are. But Tyler Breeze suffers a loss. So those are the 16 guys in the tournament. Again, painfully obvious about what is going on. And, I had my ideas for booking this. It obviously revolved around Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, nowhere to be found on Monday Night Raw or in the WWE or in WWE's plans for the Survivor Series. All right? So I'm going to creatively and tell you guys what might happen based off what we see here. Okay? So tonight, we've seen Roman Reigns beat Big Show. All right, he's in the semifinals. Cesaro and Sheamus, great fucking match. Unbelievable match, man. Probably the match of the night. In-ring wise, match of the night. Everybody thought Sheamus was going to win. I didn't give Cesaro a chance here, being that, WWE has booked him poorly in the past. But tonight, Cesaro proved all of us wrong. There was outside interference by someone in the crowd. I believe he was a soccer player, if I'm not mistaken. And he interfered in the match, slapping Wade Barrett across the face. That prompted Sheamus to, say, what the hell is going on here? And Cesaro got the pin from behind, the roll-up. A modified roll-up from behind, and Cesaro pulls off what I think is an upset here. Again, Sheamus, Money in the Bank briefcase holder in a tournament to fight for the WWE Championship. You know, logically, he didn't even need to be in this tournament. You could have gave his spot to somebody else because he has his briefcase. Even though he lost, he still ends up the winner here because he's got an automatic shot at whoever wins this thing. So Cesaro versus Roman Reigns is going to be a very, very intriguing match in the semifinals. I don't know if this is taking place next week. I don't know if this is taking place on Survivor Series Sunday at the pay-per-view. I just don't know. Del Rio Stardust did not happen. I believe that's happening on SmackDown. Kalisto versus Ryback, I believe that's happening on SmackDown as well. Titus O'Neil versus Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens made easy work of Titus O'Neil. Kevin Owens comes out and says that he will be both the Intercontinental Champion and the WWE Champion, and that this is going to be his show. Kevin Owens, decent mic time tonight. Very confident on the mic. Sounds great. Kevin Owens is coming along. I see him as a major force in the WWE in no time, but I just don't see him at that level of heel yet that the WWE needs. I'll talk about that in a second. Neville versus Barrett did not take place. That's happening on SmackDown, I believe. Ziggler versus The Miz. Ziggler beat The Miz fairly easily tonight on Monday Night Raw. He advances. And Dean Ambrose versus Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze looked very good in defeat, though I think he should have been placed with somebody else and been given a victory, or not placed in this tournament at all. But Ambrose beats Breeze. The story in Ambrose's match here with Breeze is that he was holding on to his arm. There was an arm injury possible in the match, and they played off that. They told the story around Ambrose's arm as he came off the top rope doing an elbow drop. But regardless of that, Tyler Breeze still suffers a loss. Ambrose goes on, and it will be Ambrose versus Ziggler in the next round of this tournament, okay? But what I see happening here, and I love that the WWE did this tournament 16 men. Number one, it gives the tournament time to marinate, okay? We get invested in the tournament. We see who's in the tournament. We see this play out over the next couple of weeks, and WWE did right by doing it 16 men and not 8 men, okay? I wanted it to be 16 men. I wanted there to be qualifying matches to get into this tournament, okay? Now we're getting down to a field of 8. How are you going to get in there? You got to wrestle 4 times, excuse me, 4 times to get into the tournament, or 4 times to get into the WWE Championship picture and be crowned WWE Champion, right? So I like that idea. It makes it a little bit more epic. It makes it a little bit more intriguing. We get to invest our time in watching these guys struggle it out to become the champion of the WWE. So I like that, and I appreciate WWE's effort on that. I just wish some of these matches could have been reshuffled. I wanted some of these names to not be in here at all. And, you know, I had a fantasy booking scenario of everything regarding Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose before Rollins went down with an injury. You know, with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins battling it out for the WWE Championship, that was supposed to be the planned match for Survivor Series. I had Seth Rollins winning this, and then again moving on to the TLC pay-per-view where they would have a ladder match for the WWE Championship. And at some point, Dean Ambrose would get involved. Dean Ambrose would get involved and be like, listen, Roman's getting all the coverage, he's getting all the hype and all the attention, and Dean Ambrose, you know, becoming jealous over time, would say, you know what, I need to do something where the spotlight now comes off Roman and is solely on me. Ambrose would turn heel, and Ambrose would turn heel and betray Roman Reigns. This would bleed into the Royal Rumble, and Royal Rumble would come down to Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, okay? And in the end, you would pull a dual winner. The 1994 Royal Rumble is the best, you know, example I could use. Bret Hart, Lex Luger both went over the top rope at the same time. They were both crowned dual winners of the Royal Rumble. Nobody can really see whose feet hit the floor first. Same thing would happen with Ambrose and Reigns. And from that, you would get the entire WrestleMania main event, the WWE Championship main event, being built around the Shield. And at WrestleMania 32, we would get a triple threat match with Rollins, Ambrose, and Reigns for the WWE Championship, something that we've been wanting for a very long time. And that would all culminate at WrestleMania in the main event. Who in the Shield is the best? And if you wanted Roman Reigns to win the title then as a face, you could have did that. Okay, and Roman Reigns would have his big WrestleMania moment. He would be the face of the WWE. He would be the next guy to carry the torch coming over from John Cena. That would be the grand finale for Roman Reigns if they wanted him to be the guy at that moment. All right, but obviously none of that is going to happen. Now, this tournament, this entire Survivor Series, this entire situation with Rollins going down is now going to be focusing on Roman and Dean. Okay, Ambrose and Reigns is going to be the main thing that we all look at here as far as this tournament goes. This tournament is set up, and you guys should know if you have a fucking brain in your heads. This entire tournament, no matter who is in this thing, is going to be built around Roman and Dean. The finals are going to be Roman and Dean at the Survivor Series. That's it. There's nothing else that's going to happen here. Ambrose is going to make his way into the finals. Roman's going to make his way into the finals. You're going to have two best friends. You're going to have two faces battling it out for the WWE Championship. Now, one thing that has happened when Seth Rollins went down with injury is that it leaves a huge hole as the WWE has no top heel in the company. Bray Wyatt is a mix of a face and a heel. He's not a true heel. Kevin Owens is a fantastic heel. He's a bully. He's the Intercontinental Champion, but he's not at that level yet. He's not going to be the heel that everyone is going to gravitate towards. You know, he's not going to be that heel that everyone's going to buy tickets to see his ass get beat and see him lose. He's not that type of heel yet. He will get there, okay? Del Rio is not that type of heel. And there's nobody else in this tournament that fits that role. So, realistically, if this tournament is being built around Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, two faces, one of them is going to have to turn heel. And with the introduction to Monday Night Raw tonight, with the way Triple H came out and addressed Roman Reigns, he thanks Seth. You know, Seth Rollins was the reason, Seth Rollins is the guy that Triple H chose. You know, he lived up to the hype. He was the champion. Triple H was talking highly about Seth Rollins as he went down with injury. And now Roman Reigns, he looks at the opportunity as the WWE champion kind of slipping through his fingers. Triple H is telling him it could be, an easy way or a very difficult road to get to where you want to be. All right? It seems unfair to Triple H that Reigns should have to walk through the tournament with no advantage. Instead, Triple H offers to let Reigns advance to Survivor Series to face the winner of the tournament. Everything lies. The easy road lies with aligning yourself with Triple H. That's pretty much what he's saying. The reality is that the Authority was thinking about giving Reigns the spot before they picked Rollins. This is Triple H's way of buttering him up, coercing him, trying to convince him that, listen, you were in serious consideration to take Seth Rollins' spot before we even chose Seth Rollins. Triple H saw so much potential in Reigns, he thinks that he could have been the biggest star in the business. You know, he goes back to the Evolution and Shield feud that was going on a few years back, and Triple H said that he was doing some scouting while all that was going on, and he's seen huge potential in Roman Reigns. Could Reigns have fought and beaten Brock on his own and then held the title as long as he wanted? It would have been an interesting sight to see. What Triple H has seen is Reigns going up against wall after wall after wall and never quitting. All Reigns has to do now is be Triple H's man, which Reigns calls selling out. Triple H then goes on a rant about not liking the word selling out. He doesn't like that term and says, forget all these morals because he could be given everything that he deserves. He even gets more serious by bringing up Reigns' family. Roman could secure his daughter's future by saying yes to the Authority and Triple H. The fans still say no, and Reigns says the same because he wants to do this his way. Triple H thanks him for reminding him why he didn't pick Reigns in the first place, so welcome to the back of the line. Reigns was given Big Show and now has to fight his way to Survivor Series into the finals to try and get what he's been chasing all year, and that's the WWE Championship. Now, just based off that intro, that opening segment by Triple H, one thing is for sure. Roman is going to go through this entire tournament. Roman is going to get to the finals. There's no question about it. There's no doubt in my mind Roman Reigns is going to get to the finals. Ambrose is going to do the same thing. Ambrose is going to get to the finals. We need that one heel. Seth Rollins, like I said, left a huge void in the WWE. Who is going to be that next heel? Everyone's been rumored, everyone's been saying, everyone's been talking about the rumors about Roman Reigns turning him heel. How Roman Reigns needs to have the reset button hit on his push. Give him the title, but have him do it heel. Everyone's talking about Roman Reigns being heel. This is the opportune time for WWE to do that. Now, I was on video, I was on my show, Off The Script. I've been on record saying that Dean Ambrose should be the one to turn heel. That could be a good way. You could go either way about it, depending on how WWE wants to play this. But if they want the ultimate reaction out of everything, if they want the ultimate reaction at Survivor Series, what better way to do that than have Roman Reigns turn on Dean Ambrose, who is universally loved by the WWE audience, the YWC, and every wrestling fan out there for who he is and what he does and what he brings to the table. Can you imagine Roman Reigns turning on Dean Ambrose at the Survivor Series? It doesn't necessarily have to happen at Survivor Series. It could happen on Monday Night Raw. It could happen on Monday Night Raw. But all I'm saying is that if we have Roman Reigns go through this tournament thinking in the back of his mind about what Triple H said, and then finally pulls the trigger and ends up becoming Triple H's man, and ends up joining the Authority, becoming heel in the process, turning his back on his best friend, Dean Ambrose. Can you imagine the nuclear heat that Roman Reigns would get? Roman Reigns would be absolutely fucking hated. There would be no there would be no cheers. There would be all boos. So if you want that one heel, that one replacement for Seth Rollins leaving that void upon his injury, Roman Reigns might be your guy. I think Roman would play a better heel than Dean Ambrose. I think Dean Ambrose is cut out to be a face. People love him. He's got that look, he's got that feel about him, that he's a face. And from there, this is when you build up Dean Ambrose in the process after months and months and months of just floating in obscurity with nothing to do. Putting him in random matches that mean nothing. Getting behind him and then stopping and then getting behind him again. Stop and go with Dean Ambrose push. This could be the ultimate opportunity for Dean Ambrose to chase the WWE Championship. To chase Roman Reigns. How's he going to do that? In a feud with Roman Reigns and the Authority. Dean Ambrose can become the Daniel Bryan of 2016. We can all get behind Dean Ambrose and watch him take the route that Daniel Bryan took in 2015. In 2014. It could be a similar road. And that's what I'm trying to get. Dean Ambrose could be pushed out of all this like Daniel Bryan was when he was going to go on to WrestleMania and challenge for the WWE Championship. It could happen. It could certainly happen. And I think that's where WWE is going with this. This could be an ideal situation to build up the Royal Rumble and give Dean Ambrose the Royal Rumble. Have him struggle through everything, go through the Authority, and we see his struggle and we get behind him and he ends up being victorious, lasting through 29 other guys in the Royal Rumble. And he wins the Rumble and he earns the shot to go to WrestleMania and finally get revenge on his friend or his ex-friend and take down Roman Reigns. This could be it. Give the title to Roman Reigns right now. What is there to lose? Roman Reigns as a heel and the WWE Champion. Test the waters. WWE has absolutely nothing to lose here. I would love to see how Roman Reigns gets over as a heel, as a fucking monster heel. I would love to see how Dean Ambrose is embraced by the WWE Universe and the WWE fans as a monster babyface, trying to get the WWE Championship. I would love to see all that. And I think this is where the tournament is coming into play. It's going to be Reigns and it's going to be Ambrose. We know that. We're the fans watching how this is all going to unfold. And come that last hour, that last half an hour at Survivor Series on the 22nd, when it's Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, we're all going to be watching at the edge of our seats what's going to happen. One of those guys is turning. And I think exactly what I told you is the route that WWE is going to take, because I think it's the way to go. As of right now, after everything unfolded, my Bryan situation, that's gone. I know Daniel Bryan's not going to be here for the WWE Championship. I was just throwing things at you because I feel like the WWE needs a monster babyface. And this is the role that Dean Ambrose now can slide on into if they want to do that. And if you're a monster babyface, you're going to need a monster heel to go after. And Roman Reigns can be that monster heel if WWE plays their cards right. That's all I got for my Monday Night Raw review. Apparently, The Undertaker and Kane, I was actually filming this and recording this while The Undertaker and Kane came out. They laid waste to the Wyatt family. You know, I knew they were going to be there regardless, you know, thanks to prior reports about it. But it's really nothing. I mean, they laid waste to the Wyatt family. It's not really all that important to talk about. What I wanted to talk about is the most important thing, and that is the WWE Championship Tournament. So let me know what you guys think. I know I'm talking sense. I know I'm bringing quality content to the table here, and I bring some logical ideas. Let me know what you guys think about this, and let me know what you guys think is going to happen in this tournament. It's going to be intriguing, man. We got a nice couple of matchups coming up. You know, I don't know when WWE's going to, you know, plan on having these matches. I would love to have all these with the Final 8. I would love to have all these matches at the Survivor Series. Have the entire tournament, one night, break it down, and we have a new champion, and then we go on from there. But let me know what you guys think about everything that I discussed today. Am I losing my mind? Do you agree with me? Do you see where I'm coming from? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the Raw review, hit that thumbs up. And I'll definitely see you guys back on Off The Script for number 91 on Friday, man. This is JD. Thank you so much for watching Monday Night Raw review. And I'll see you all on Friday for Off The Script, guys. Thank you for watching.